Hello, users, and welcome to another episodic installation of Above It All, the show where I bring to you news from the ground to the best of my capabilities, living in bumfuck motherfuck. Shit, I cursed in the first 30 seconds. God damn it, fuck! Anyway, this is a little clip here of in a Portland protest. This happened a couple nights ago. Or just, I don't know. It happened a couple nights ago, August 7th, 1:43 a.m. Police punctured the tires of the snack van during their dispersal. And you can check out this whole thread. I'll link it in the description. But I just want to let this play. And I'll just do it without audio because there is this thing where people get really upset about property damage. Oh no, someone set something on fire. Oh no, someone threw a bottle and broke a window. Oh no, someone threw a can of paint at a fucking courthouse. Oh no. And yet, they never have anything to say when police do that. Now, a commenter of mine has told this story in my comment section about how police tried to raid her home, broke her door, and would not pay to replace the door, would not pay to fix it, and just forced them to do so. And like, what the fuck? You'd think, the police with such an exorbitant budget, getting military equipment every fucking few months, having $15 trillion coffee machines, you'd think they would be able to pay for a door that they fucked up and when they fucking burst down the fucking door to the wrong house, right? You would think that would be something easily within their budget and capabilities, but they do not do that. Police never clean up after themselves. So this is something, there is a snack van here. I don't know too much of the context, but to my understanding, this is a van for protesters to provide equipment, and police just decide, you know what? We're just going to fuck it up. We're going to pop the tires. Again, why not, right? Why not? As you can see here, if you're looking at the clip, the cops rush by, move people out of the way, and just puncture all the tires. Why? Again, because they can get away with it. Cops are above the law. They do not actually live in the United States of America and follow the Constitution of the United States. If they did, they would not be doing literally 99% of the shit that they do. Did you know that it's only about like 5 or so percent of actual violent crimes that are stopped by someone calling 911? The rest, usually cops come in after the fact and do nothing. They solve nothing. They just make everyone's day longer and more annoying and more scary because cops are fucking useless. Seriously, I cannot envision. I have been attacked by cops. I have been beaten by cops. I have had cops threaten to kill me. I have had cops tell me I'm a sexual deviant after having them called for a sexual assault case. Like, cops are just garbage. I've had Maryland cops fucking be rude to me. I've had New Jersey cops be rude to me. I've had North Carolina cops be rude to me. This is a systematic failure on all cylinders to act like normal people. And again, people get more concerned with property damage than actual human lives that are affected by police brutality. People are more concerned with rioting and looting than the actual people that are hurt during these events. And again, all these protests don't need to happen, okay? If the government just said, all right, we hear you, let's defund the police and let's move that funding into more social welfare programs and help everyone out, guess what? These protests would end just like that. Just like that, the protests would be over. Now, I'm an anarchist. I wouldn't want that. But the government and the people in power literally have the capability of making all this go away. But instead of doing that, instead of spending billions of dollars on infrastructure overhaul and helping the actual American citizens with more stimulus programs, with more wealth redistribution programs, instead of doing that, they spend that same sum of billions of dollars on extra military equipment, on repairing property damage that didn't need to be damaged in the first place, and fucking getting federal troops to go to Portland, for example, and getting all the fucking military grade equipment and hardware and vehicles and so forth to these police units, to give these fucking cops overtime and all the fucking pensions in the world and all the raises in the world, to buy them all $15 fucking billion fucking coffee machines. That same sum of money, people ask, oh, how are you going to pay for it? How are you going to pay for it? How are you going to pay for it? Cops are more decked out than our healthcare workers. Cops get more money to provide them safety equipment than the people that are fighting coronavirus in the hospitals and the front lines. The real war that is happening in this country is with doctors and nurses not being able to actually help their patients. They don't have proper PPE. There is an epidemic right now of cops or of doctors and nurses literally committing suicide because they were not prepared for the things that happened. The government failed to help them, and they've been traumatized. And doctors and nurses have been committing suicide in droves. I've seen at least a dozen 2,000 cases of doctors committing suicide and leaving a note that says, if, the pandemic scarred them and it gave them, like, they couldn't sleep, and it's like, wow, this is the thing that's happening in our country. Doctors are not being funded properly to help people that are being afflicted by a pandemic that was preventable, but the government forced them to get infected. And meanwhile, they are using cops, giving them unlimited amounts of billions of dollars to fund riot gear, military-grade hardware, and equipment for them to just go vandalize people's property for no reason. This is a police riot. That's what this is. This is not rioters and looters, Antifa. This is a police riot. That's what this is. There is no other such thing as a riot other than a police riot. Now, we look at the situation in Portland. When the federal troops disappeared, that day, afterward, the Portland police did not intervene. There was no police presence, no violence, maybe small amounts of property damage, but everyone got along fine. And as soon as the cops came along, that's where the injuries started. That's where people started to get mad at each other. That's where disagreements started. That's where cops started to instigate. That's where property was more damaged. It is a feedback loop. Instead of actually fixing the problem of police brutality, they're just exacerbating it. When people are protesting police brutality and the police respond by shooting them in the face, that's not going to make them run away. That's going to make more people come out and protest. For you fucking cop defenders, like, what are you doing? Y'all are fucking stupid. You're brainwashed. Again, if you want the protest to end, what you should advocate for is a second stimulus. What you should advocate for is wealth redistribution programs. What you should advocate for is wealth redistribution from the police forces. Make sure they don't have military-grade hardware and send that money, maybe sell or destroy some of that shit, burn it down to raw resources, and send that value to doctors, to healthcare workers, to social workers. Maybe end the eviction crisis. There's going to be 40 million new homeless people in this country soon, and yet y'all are crying because a few people threw a fucking rock at a fucking courthouse. Get a fucking grip on reality. This is like a fucking weirdo fucking thing you're doing, and it's failing. Nobody cares. You keep saying, oh, Antifa, rioters and looters, and yet all the actual violence that's happening, all the actual property damage is from police onto the citizens. Fucking citizens aren't going around burning down people's houses. They're not going around burning down small businesses. They're going around burning down corporate and conglomerate fucking stores like Walmart's or Target's. They're going around to set fire to federal courthouses and police stations, which, by the way, reminder, 59% of Americans thought that the burning down of Minneapolis' 3rd precinct was justified. So again, you think that you're winning. You think there's a silent majority, but I'm sorry, but you're delusional. You're just fucking stuck up on a bunch of stupid shit you were taught in school and you can't get over it. Cops are the bad guys. 80% of fucking people that are black think that cops are bad. They think that cops are terrorists. Why is that? Why would that be? Oh, probably because they get fucking owned on a daily basis. I have so many fucking people that I know that are black, and they always tell me whenever I make videos about this stuff, oh yeah, here's my story. I got pulled over, they told me to walk down the line, and they told me to do this, and they said do that again, and they said to get it down on the ground and walk backwards, and they give you conflicting reports. Why? Because they're psychopaths. They're crazy people. They're nuts. They're not good in the head. But instead of putting these people in rehabilitation programs, instead of giving them therapy, we give them badges and guns and tell them to go hog wild on the fucking civilian population. No, motherfucker. I don't think so. I think that's a fucking stupid thing. I think we should change the fucking dynamic in this country. Make cops a fucking extinct fucking thing. Does that mean there's no law enforcement? No. But again, there's about like 5% of things like violent crimes that are stopped by 911 being called. And again, what about the other 95%? What about all the other things that police do? Oh, right. That is a waste of money. That is a waste of resources. And it propels a feedback loop. When cops respond to someone trying to commit suicide and they're scared, and instead of actually helping that person, they shoot them in the face, that is not police doing their job. That is police murdering someone and then getting away with it because that's what they do. That is what cops are for in this country. And the sooner you understand that, the sooner we can actually do any sort of reform, any sort of defunding, any sort of reallocation of funds, any divesting and reinvesting into other communities. Again, if most crimes are done from desperation, if there was not such immiseration in our population, people would not rob, people will not steal, people will not scam, people will not try to get a leg up on other people. That would just cease to exist. Now, of course, there are some kleptomaniacs, but not that many in comparison to actual crimes that are just robberies and stuff, of people just trying to get by. And again, when you defend the police in all these situations, you look like a cowboy. You look like a loser. You look like a fucking cornball, a clown. It's fucking dumb. And you need to get a new grift because this one isn't working. Thank you for watching. Fuck cops. All cops are bastard. Only good cops are the ones that quit. Thank you for watching. See ya.